Hello, hello, hello. It is me, Zach McAllister. I know I've been gone for like 2 months. It's crazy. Who knows? Where have I been? I don't know. Since IJA, I came back, and then I immediately went to Canada. I immediately came back. Then I immediately was planning on going to EJC, which I did end up going to EJC. It just took me a little longer than I expected. Today, I really just want to talk and rant about what EJC was like from a American USA perspective, someone who's never been to Europe before, someone who's never been to an EJC. I was a performer, so they reached out to me, and they were like, we would like you to be in this show and this show, which was the gala show and an open stage show. And I was like, cool, yeah, totally. My journey to get there was a little bit difficult. The day I was supposed to fly out, I ended up being kind of sick. I ended up getting a later flight because I wasn't feeling as hot. There's this whole thing where I was just like, I just can't. I can't fly right now. This is ridiculous. By the time I ended up making it to the EJC, I had already missed one of the shows I was supposed to be in. I ended up bringing two different acts. An act for an open stage, which included a lot of stuff that I have never shown anywhere before. That was going to be like my tester act. I was going to do something like wacky and totally crazy. That didn't happen. Very unfortunate. I missed like half the convention. Really disappointing seeing all the videos of people going, and I just was not there. An open stage act, I didn't end up doing that. I ended up doing a couple of tricks from it in a Renegade show, and then in the gala show I did a light act. Really fun, because the way that act works really plays well into like being able to shine the light on different people, and I don't know, I felt like that act works pretty well in the round. There was another act in that show who Katarina, who ended up doing a bouncing in the V act. The entire show was done in a circle, like there was like people on her sides and everything, and I don't know if they planned it out very well, because it's a V, so you can't really see what she's doing unless you're like in the front or the back. It was kind of unfortunate, but I was in the back, so I had a lot of fun with that. I thought the gala show was insane. Overall experience as a performer was that. As a festival goer, I was completely overwhelmed by how big the EJC actually is. I've known the numbers that EJC draws in, but when I see them in person, it hits entirely different. Not looking on the IJA, I've been to 4 or 5 IJAs before, and they're big. They're probably the biggest convention I've ever been to before EJC. But they really only pull maybe like 600 people. EJC is pulling like 3,000 people, and it's hard to put into words seeing that many people who are doing juggling, just so many people. The day I got into the convention, Wednesday morning, I spent the entire day walking around with friends, just seeing everybody juggling. Like, I didn't juggle at all that day. I just walked around, met some people. Wow, this is so intense, the amount of juggling, and everyone is so good too. The skill level is incredibly high. I'm just looking around the gym and seeing everyone doing what they're doing, and everyone is so amazing at what they're doing. So many amazing jugglers in one location. It's incredible to see. I went to a couple of the open stages. Very fun. It seems like the open stages in EJC are basically what Renegade shows are to us in the USA, in which you sign up, they do kind of like set up for you and whatever, and you were in this formal show, and sure, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It seems like the more formal show for them is what our Renegade is, if that gives you an idea, because the Renegades are so unhinged, so ridiculous. I don't even know how to describe it. There was some weird acts. I'm not even going to talk about them here, I'm sorry. Some of the best acts I saw at that convention were on the open stage. Dominic Latera did his graduation piece from Doc in Sweden. Watching the gala show, that was such a good show, honestly. There's a performance where it was a bunch of guys with boom whackers. Very cool. My favorite juggler of all time, Gon, the juggler with the broken rings where he like bends them and twists them. He was in that show with a group. That was so cool. Of course, Katarina did an amazing job at bouncing the V, closing the show with that act. There was also a memorial type of show for Joseph Viat, a juggler who passed away recently. That was pretty emotionally draining to watch. I've been following his stuff for a long time, and to see people like performing versions of his acts in like this giant like heart shape, and everyone's like talking about him, it was like I've never felt like that at a juggling convention before, so that was really special. Fight night was really intense. Out of all the shows, I'd say Fight night was probably the most intense of them, and the audience was most involved, if that makes sense. When it got down to the semifinals and the finals, people were really getting into it. Diablo battle I didn't end up going to because I was stuck in tech for maybe 6 hours beforehand. It was about to happen in the same tent, and I was just like, I don't want to be in this tent anymore. So I left and went and did something else. Was planning on going to the Diablo battle. I missed it. Coolest thing about this convention to me was getting to meet all the people I've known on the internet for years and years. Like some people like over 10 years and just never ever gotten to meet them. Like Lauga Benjaminson, Ivan Jogshaw, Hovard Fisten, Bohr, Isaac, Johnny Moore, Chloe Fossard, Lisa Von Brackel, Gon Fernandez, Katarina, Jose Lima, Lucas Awixis, I don't know how to say his last name, Dominic Laterra, Joe Fisher, Helena Berry, Maggie Rusick, Luke Burridge, Tammuz Vardy, Leary Kame. How could I forget Lewis Kennedy, the man I've been trying to meet for years and almost met like twice already. And so many more I just can't think of right now. There was actually a list I had going into this where I was like, I've got to meet all these people. I'm going to meet all these people. I didn't think that it would be impossible to meet everyone I wanted to meet. This thing about this convention that really blew my mind was you just can't see everybody. IJA, everyone's eventually in the same hall at the same time. But at EJC, everyone's doing different things all over the place. There's no way of really tracking someone down unless you like message them or something. It's really that big of a convention that you just can't find everyone you want to talk to. Like it's like mini conventions happening at different locations all at the same time. You're always going to be missing out on something. And yeah, I mean, besides the blistering heat of Madrid in August, I thought it was a pretty amazing, incredible festival. I want to come back next year. I believe it's in Ireland, Dublin. Now that I've opened the door to Europe, maybe I can try out some other conventions. So if you have a convention, hit me up. Let me know. I'll come. I'll perform. I'll do whatever you want. I'll teach workshops. I'll do a dance. I'll help run booths. I'll pose with your t-shirts. Whatever you want, please. Just let me come to your convention, please. Please. This was such an incredible experience. Thank you so much to the EJC team for having me. It was awesome. It was awesome and so exhausting. Did you go to EJC? What was your thoughts on the convention? Did you love it? Was it super fun? Was it the best EJC you've ever been to? Definitely was the best EJC I've ever been to. If you want to support weekly videos, be sure to check out my Patreon. You can check that out in the description below as well. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace.